There was only one bullet left in the gun, but the man removed it and handed it to the other person. He chose to carry an empty weapon himself, because that was the only way either of them might survive. They stood by the shore, eyes fixed on the waves, watching for any sign of the thing that lurked beneath. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Mark spotted something drifting toward them across the water. Supplies. After their warship had sunk, much of the cargo had floated onto this island. The two scavenged everything they could find, even stripping gear from the bodies of fallen comrades. For now, their survival was secured, but they could never let their guard down, not with that monstrous creature roaming the island. Just days ago, it had nearly dragged Mark into the sea. That night, they shared a small meal, the most satisfying one they'd had in weeks. After eating, they tried to remove the shackles from their ankles. On this island, fighting while chained meant certain death. They had to free themselves. After several failed attempts, the chains finally came loose. But before they could celebrate, a strange sound echoed behind them. Quickly loading the bullet into the pistol, the two grabbed their weapons and chased after the noise, determined to see what kind of creature had been stalking them all this time, appearing and disappearing like a ghost, striking when least expected. Following the trail of footprints, they reached the beach. Suddenly, from the opposite side, they heard human voices. Looking closer, they saw two Japanese soldiers and a prisoner. Saito immediately told Mark to hide while he stayed to handle the situation. Mark hesitated but decided to trust him. Even though Saito was also a Japanese soldier, their time together had shown Mark that he wouldn't betray him. Once Mark was hidden, Saito lay down by the campfire, pretending to sleep.
What's up?
Sure enough, the two Japanese soldiers assumed Saito was one of them, exactly as he had planned. The three had survived by wearing life jackets when the ship went down, but Saito hadn't expected them to be so cautious. When they noticed two pairs of boots by the campfire, suspicion arose immediately. They pulled back the blanket and saw the shackles still locked around Saito's ankle. In that instant, they realized he must be a prisoner. Back during transport, their commander had chained prisoners and captives together. The soldiers demanded that Saito reveal where Mark was hiding. Though they belonged to opposing sides, Saito refused to betray him and lied, saying Mark was already dead. But the two soldiers weren't fooled. Before they could act, a strange rustling came from the nearby bushes. Hearing the captured prisoner whisper the word creature, all three men froze in disbelief. Could such a thing really exist? One of the soldiers stepped forward cautiously, following the noise until he reached a dark cave.